are PhD students from the University of Boya, the Department of Educational Administration, the Faculty of Education. I am among Florence Nyoki, and to my right is
Sharon.
And I'm Clara. We are here to present a talk on education. Looking at education and contributions to education, we see that many people have contributed to education in Cameroon, Africa, and the world at large. But we cannot talk about every individual. We have thought it while Professor Emeritus Tchombe, and she has contributed a lot to education. Sharon and Florence, as we all know, she has contributed a lot to education. Prof. Tchombe was the pioneer dean of education in the Faculty of Education, University of Boya, and prior to that, she was the HOD in ENS Yaoundé, Higher Teachers Training College in Yaoundé, thereby impacting knowledge, skills, and coordinating teachers and students. That was very impressive. Isn't it, Sharon?
Yeah, no, that was really impressive. That was very impressive, Clara. When you look at the University of Boya, Faculty of Education, Professor Therese Tchombe was given a grant in 2007 by UNESCO on special education. When Professor Tchombe talks about special education, what does she mean by that? Special education has to do with the acquisition of knowledge, skill, attitude by learners or individuals with special needs. What can you say, Florence?
She has really impacted knowledge, and she has created a lot of influence. Way back in 2007, 2008, she won the England African project in strengthening, in partnership to strengthening education and social science for PhD students programs. And it's worth mentioning that she equally went further in 2008, where she won the UNESCO chair for special education. And we see that special education is one place of priority in her educational achievements. She did a lot to achieve or to make the needs for special learners to be brought out to the limelight, and for many people to place importance to it. And we can see that it has gone from time immemorial, and there's a lot of improvement and achievement, because now with inclusive education we are able to study together, even in our present society and in our present day classrooms.
In the year 2008, Professor Therese Tchombe also gained a grant to launch distance education in the Faculty of Education. That was so amazing, because with distance education, it has to do with, it's an inclusive term that has to do with acquisition of knowledge, skills, attitudes between learners and teachers from different areas. And so looking at distance education, it covers areas such as video broadcasting, video conferencing, and computer teleconferencing.
What do you think, Clara? Yeah, Sharon is very impressive. She was a visiting lecturer at the University of Augsburg and Frankfurt in 1999 and 2005 respectively in Germany. What do you think? Visiting lecturer in Germany, leaving Cameroon to Germany just to go and educate people, and she helped a lot of students in the areas of teaching practice. She coordinated them well in areas of teaching practices. In fact, to me that was very intensive.
That was a great point. Florence, what can you say?
Yes. When we want to look into her work, not only as the UNESCO chair, but she equally had a lot to do when it comes to education, because it's worth to mention that she was nominated as the chair, as the chair for UNESCO, and she really impacted a lot of knowledge while occupying that position. We get to know that She received grants for Teachers Task Force. That's a powerful body when it comes to UNESCO, and a transnational research. She also won a prize in a transnational research in special education needs. You see that her place for special education is really given a high place, and we see that she was also an active participant when it comes to consultancy. Yes,
That's very,
she has always been for time immemorial acted as a consultant for organizations like UNESCO, UNICEF, World Development Program, Plan Cameroon, not leaving out site savers.
And is broad.
And yes,
is broad.
It's
and
also
very, very important.
It's also important to know that she also made the education of a girl child a place of pride, because she influenced the girl child education.
Very, very important, especially in the society in which we are, where at first the girl child was not really given a place behind. Was given a place.
Yes.
But now when you look at even at our classroom, right from the basic level, the secondary level, even at the higher level, you see that the place of a woman is being given. Looking at the ratio, when you look at girl children, most of them are meaning in the classroom as compared to the boys. And that is why we would like to say that, looking at some of the theories that are being discussed in educational administration, there are so many of them. I don't know, can you give me one of the theory or 2 or 3 of them, Florence?
Yes, we have the classical organizational school of thought from 1900 to 1935. We equally have the human relations theory, the human relation movement theory from 1935 to 1950.
Yes, that's very true. There are so many. Clara, what about you?
We have the social science approach. That's from 1950 to 1970.
Yes, that's right.
We have the emergent non-traditional perspective. That's from 1970 to 2000, and that's from 1970 to present.
Yes,
to present.
Yes, but now looking at Professor Therese Tchombe, we can classify her under the human relations theory. Why? Because she focused mostly on inclusive education. And the human relations theory is a theory which has to do with the needs of individuals and with the interactions between individuals, which yields to behavior. Looking at the human relations theory is classified in 3 levels. You have the economic, you have the social, and you have the psychological. Now looking at the psychological, you have issues like guidance and counseling. You have motivation. You all bear with me that our young learners, even the adult learners, cannot achieve their goals successfully without being motivated and without going through counseling. So we classify Professor Therese Tchombe as a human relationist because she's focused on inclusive education, and this is education that has to do with all. Despite the class of the person, education is for all. So here we are concluding on the fact that Professor Therese Tchombe is a human relationist when it comes to educational administration in terms of the theory that relates to her work. And so we want to thank you so much for being a part of this talk show. We want to thank you so much, Florence, Clara. What do you have to say?
What I have to say is that Prof. Tchombe is a professor worth emulating. In fact, the work of Prof. Tchombe are indisputable. Yeah, she was the founding member of the doctoral network for teachers education in Africa, and she has participated in many conferences, both national and international. That's very impressive. In fact, we cannot say everything here. We just need, I will urge everyone to read and learn more from her works. Yes, that's what I have to say.
She's an icon when it comes to education, and most especially inclusive education and for special needs. She's an example worth emulating to everybody, and it's very interesting when we go through her works. We see how much she has influenced and impacted knowledge.
So that was it for from this end.